So for the next art project, we had to go thrifting. Why? Because I wanted to find an interesting object to use with these markers. These are acrylic markers, and basically you can draw with them on anything, but they are the brush type, like the tip of the marker is like a brush. So I wanted to find something interesting that we can draw on. And we went to a humongous outdoor thrift market, and I found these two interesting boxes that basically look like vintage lunch boxes, but they are not. There used to be, it's from 1970s, Soviet Union times, and it was used to carry a voltage meter. I gave the voltage meters back to the seller because I only need the case, but the case is made from aluminum. It's very sturdy. It has a fake leather handle, and I think this is gonna be a wonderful project because I wanted something with a flat surface, so it would be much easier for me to draw on. What I did before I started sketching on it, I took a little bit of sandpaper and sanded down, so I would take off the first layer of the paint, so it would our markers that we are testing today would better attach to the surface of the vintage lunchbox. And this video is thanks to this company from China that reached out to me and said, would you like to make a video about our markers? They are called Woomer Art. Their products is available worldwide. They are available on Amazon. All the links are down in the description. If you can see here, it has its nice brush tip. I am not a big fan of brush tips because I usually like my lines very precise in the exact thickness, but we'll see how it goes. So I have already prepared our canvas, and let's begin and try to keep this casual as possible. I will put right here on the screen how the lunchbox looks finished, if we're gonna finish, if we're not gonna run in some errors. But this is the finished lunchbox, and if you want, you can take this little creative journey with me today, and let's try to finish this project in one go.
If you're new here, welcome. I'm a creative person through and through, and this is the place where I share my journey. My passions range from drawing and painting to street art, travel photography, linocut printing, and my work as graphic designer. Whether I'm creating art, traveling and capturing the world through my lens, designing bold packaging, or carving my imagination into prints, I invite you to join me on my everyday adventures, big and small. Let's get inspired to live, to love, to learn, and create.
By the way, I didn't start a sketch right on the vintage lunchbox. No, I started here on paper. I drew up, this is the third idea, and then I just transferred it section by section onto the lunchbox and did it with a pencil. And this morning I went over with a dark marker, so it would be easier to see, because with the pencil it's almost impossible to see where the lines are. Right now we're gonna take our first marker. By the way, this set, what I love about this set, let me try and open it. It opens up. See, you can open each section up and separate it from the section below it, so you can see all the colors at once. This I like. This system is very nice. I don't usually use that much of there's like 72. Yep, 72 colors. That is way too much for me. I usually use just basic colors. I'm not that posh. But right now, let's see if the paint even holds. I have chosen these markers for our drawing, painting, call it what you will. This is gonna be our skin tone. This is gonna be our mustache and hair and eyebrows. This is gonna be the iris of the eye, is gonna be blue. of course, we have white for our teeth and eye, and the black. And the blacks we're gonna try to do with this brush tip, but I'm not sure, as I said, because I am used to using, for fine details, I use something like this. This is very precise. Or I use something like this, which is a felt tip pen, and I can easily control the thickness of my lines, where with brush I don't have that experience, but we'll see how it goes. We're gonna try every marker. This is all an experiment. This video is dedicated to these markers, and we're gonna try out how good are they at their job. I'm gonna bring you in as close as possible as my camera will let me, so you can see exactly how the marker works. Well, it looks very nice. A little bit see-through, but we'll see. Well, I think the color is a little bit off, but maybe it's just me. But I think we would need to maybe we will need to take a little bit, one tone a little bit darker. But the flow from the marker is very good. It feels very even, I would say, premium. The lines are nice. I think you can see very well that if you want, you can make a really thin line, and if you need to, you can push down and make it a little bit thicker. I have the coffee jitters right now. This is not the perfect way to start your painting after drinking too much coffee. Yeah, but I think it's already. Yep, it's already dry. So let's try and go another layer. So I tried it and I don't like it. It doesn't stick well enough to the lunchbox, so this was a waste of time. So I sanded everything off once more, and let's try covering everything with this Pro Universal Primer. I already tried it on the inside of the lunchbox, and the results are completely different. Look how vibrant and bold the colors look. One thing that I didn't think of is that we're gonna have to make our sketch on the lunchbox all over again, because as you can see, we're completely covering the lid with this white primer. So it means we'll have to transfer the sketch onto the lid all over. Ah, damn it. After the priming, everything looks much better. I finished transferring the sketch, but the problem now is that I did it with a pencil, and usually you can clean it off, and this one doesn't clean off from the primer. The primer is so good that even a basic pencil sticks to it like glue, and I cannot clean it off. So hoping the marker will be strong enough to cover all these lines and they won't be see-through. And now the moment of the truth. Let's try one more time and paint on our newly made canvas. Let's try in the same spot above the right eye and see what result are we getting. Yeah, no, most definitely this is way much better. Look at this. Now this looks like something. Oh my god, yes. This is way much better. But the only problem is it doesn't cover our pencil, so I will have to try and, I don't know, wash it off or use a little bit of sandpaper, because the pencil is bleeding through the marker, or I just have to cover it few times, but this looks way much better. And of course the marker feels perfect. Look, now that's a completely different story.
With these coloring segments, I am not sure what to do. Should I leave them as long as they are because I like them? I don't know. It feels like almost a medication to me. And maybe you enjoy the same process, or should I just cut them extra short and please everyone in the audience and stop wasting your time? But I wanted to show as much as possible how the marker works, how is the flow. And from these videos, I think you can see that painting with these markers is a real joy. The lines are nice, the flow is good, the colors are vibrant, and basically this is a very good tool if you want to make your art project much faster than using like a traditional brushes that I'm used to. This is way much faster, especially if you own an Etsy store like me and you want to make a lot of art objects and maybe make some income from them. Then speed and precision and quality of the markers is a very important. The quality I think is there. They are pretty cheap. I think this one is around 72 colors are around $35. So for my needs, this is an overkill. This will last me for a year at least for my small art projects.
So I stopped recording the painting process, and this is the final result. Almost every color I did 2 times, 2 layers, for it to be absolutely non-transparent, but mostly to reduce all these strokes that I make while I'm painting. And I think the result is very good. The markers work very precisely. They do exactly what I think they will do, so no surprises. Only I would say the black marker is dripping like a bit too much. But other than that, it looks fine. It looks very good. So now all we'll have to do is start outlining. And the detailing process for me is the most interesting, because here I'm going in total freestyle and every painting of mine is absolutely unique and different. This time maybe I overdid it, but you know, my style kind of varies. When I started making the Mustache Man series, it was one thing, and now it has morphed into completely different things. So every painting is kind of different, and not afraid of a change, because the amount I spend on each artwork is huge, and at the end it is what it is. It's all done in freestyle. Before I show you the final result of this lunchbox, of these artworks, I want to say thanks to the Woomer Art markers. They were great. 72 colors, you can see here on the back. They worked like a charm. They're good. Their price is very low, and I think everyone can buy them and try them out for themselves. You will find the links down in the description. So here is the final artwork, the reveal of my Mustache Man lunchbox. I have varnished it. I hope there aren't any freaky glares. The whole painting, the whole artwork is now as one with this matte finish, with this matte varnish. People who saw my TikTok with the finished lunchbox, they were saying like, oh, I want to buy it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna charge you like $1,000 for this, because this was long way coming. First, we had to go thrifting. We needed to find these vintage lunchboxes. Then I had to clean them. If you remember from the beginning of the video, we made a drawing, it didn't work. We needed to prime it, do the drawing all over again, then use the markers, make the base layers, then use the outlines, the fine details, then varnish it. Still you can see I have some tape on the handle because I just finished working on it. So I don't know. I want to hear your ideas from your part of the world. Is this something you would want to buy? How much should it cost? Because we all here are artists. We want to make living from making art. Each of us has Etsy shop. Each of us has some ups and downs, and I'm skeptical. I don't know. I would love to spend my days just sitting here and making these basically some kind of scrap metal, making into something nice and wearable. And I had the idea, maybe I should add like little hooks here, and then you could wear it. You could wear it like a little bag. Maybe we should go in the direction of fashion and not lunchboxes. Thank you if you stuck with me throughout this video. I know this was a lengthy one, but the project was big and it took an insane amount of time from me, insane amount of dedication, filming every step of the way. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you down in the comments, and thanks for your support. Before you go, there's a link down in the description for my Discord channel, so you can come in and say hi and we can continue chatting over there. So that's it from me. Bye and see you in the next one.